Hey friends, happy Monday, happy beginning of the work week, happy first day of daylight savings time. Um, Welcome to my live, and if you happen to be watching later, welcome to the replay. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Couture. So once you hop on tonight's live or you hop on the replay at a later date, please feel free to say hi in the comments and to tell me where you are watching from. I also want to let you know I'm live in 2 locations. So if you hear me refer to a comment that is not in your feed, that person is probably watching from a different platform. And as always, if you like what you see and you think others should see this video, or you just want to help out my channel, please feel free to spread the craft love around Facebook and YouTube. Hit that heart button, hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you have subscribed and turned on notifications. That not only helps out my channel to be seen by other people, but it also helps out your algorithm and puts a lot more creative stuff into your Facebook feed and YouTube feed for that matter. So it helps us both, and I greatly appreciate it. And as always, tag your crafty friends and invite them to watch along with you. With that, let's go to the comments. Jason is watching from the other side of the door, and he says, "Hello, Monday." I think we'll wait a few more minutes. I have some new product to share with y'all, but I think I'll wait until a few more friends hop on. But let's go ahead and flip the camera and get started. So I'm going to work on another square of our Club Couture crafty kit that is pictured right there. In all of the information is right there. I do also have a link in the description of the video. If you're interested in learning more about Club Couture or signing up for Club Couture, that information is available down below. We're also going to ink a shirt this evening. So I have the expensive and difficult size B transfer. This is in last chance. So if you want to create some cute graphic tees or tote bags with this super snarky, super fun transfer, make sure you pick that up. I do have it linked in the description of the video as well in the cart link. I also have my t-shirt here. This is a men's t-shirt from Walmart. At my local Walmart, I was able to get like gray and black, and they had maybe a red and white one, but I went online and they had quite a few more colors, including this peach, or this coral colored one. So I can, if you want information about the t-shirts, let me know and I will send those to you. Hello, Miss Bonita, welcome. She says good evening. That darn Facebook. It's doing weird. My feed, like if I'm watching on my laptop or something, it'll just start scrolling on its own, and I'll miss posts, and then I have to go back up, and it just kind of scrolls on its own, and it's just weird. I don't know what it's doing here lately. Okay, so this is what we inked last week. It is the Club Couture transfer. I'm trying to figure out if mine is still over there. I should probably go get it. Hold on just a sec. And sort of on topic, off topic, if you've ever wondered if our transfers lose their stickiness if they've been sitting out off of their backer sheet for a long period of time, they might just a tad, but honestly, I just realized this one has still been sitting there air drying off of its backer sheet since we used it last Monday, so we're still good. It's probably not the best idea. Okay, so this is the exclusive Club Couture transfer for the month. It is a size F, and it's called Peanuts Portrait. And you get I don't think I have those. You get 3 paste singles. You get, I'm gonna have them right over here. You get Bumblebee ink, Cadet ink, and Black Velvet ink. And then you get this cute little 9x9 pillow cover, but I'm not going to use it as a pillow cover. I'm probably going to use it as a zipper pouch. So I have my zipper on the top. But these are the contents of the Club Couture kit. So last week we put our ink mat inside our pouch. I laid the transfer on the pillow cover, and I inked it all in Black Velvet. And then I dried that with my heat embossing tool. And then we mixed up some of the Bumblebee and watered it down. And I painted around Charlie Brown with the watered down Bumblebee ink. Let me move you in just a skosh. Maybe that'll help. So tonight we're going to use the Cadet ink, which in my case, I'm going to be using Midnight Sky because I don't have any Cadet. And we're going to color in the square above Linus. I'm going to get out some distilled water and some stir sticks. So has everyone survived daylight savings time so far? So I'm just going to get I'm going to get a little bit out from the lid, maybe. It's probably enough. Put that over there. And then we're going to water it down just a skosh. So this is Heat Set Permanent Ink. Around here we like to, it's technically called Couture ink. So I'm just going to put some watered down ink onto my paintbrush. I'm gonna put some of this parchment paper down just so I have a place to rest my hand. And if it happens to have ink on it, then I will protect most of my surface. And then we're just going to paint this on. However, I'm going to add a little bit more water. So tell me in the comments, who is your favorite Peanuts character? Bonita says Snoopy hands down. Jason says Linus. Does anybody remember who Snoopy's girlfriend was? She wasn't ever in any of the cartoons, I don't think. But like the plush items, all the character toys, he had a girlfriend. Does anybody remember her name? You can't Google it. That's cheating. Oops, I said the G word and my phone tried to answer. Anybody remember? I like Snoopy, but I also like Woodstock. They kind of go hand in hand. But I also liked his girlfriend because, you know, of course, she's a girl dog. Bonita says he didn't know he had a girlfriend. I remember he had a family member who had a mustache. Yep. In some of in the toy line, he had, I think it was a girlfriend, and her name was Belle. But yeah, I remember the mustached dude as well. I don't know his name. She wasn't in the cartoons, but I remember her being part of the toy line because they had a plush Snoopy and a plush Belle that you could, and of course they had clothes that you could purchase. That's all I remember. I think I had a Snoopy, but I did not. I wanted Belle, of course. So we are just painting the background. I love all of these Peanuts transfers. The only downside is unless you, if you don't want just black and white, then you have to color everything in, which is not bad. It's just, I always like the one and done kind of things. So if you like the one and done kind of things, you can just stop at the black kind of comic lines. But if you want to add like have the cartoon look, then you're going to have to color some of the stuff in. I just realized his hair is going to be a little tricky. It's going to be a sticky wicket. probably should have chosen a lighter color because it's going to be hard to tell this blue from his black wisps of hair. I think I might have colored part of his head in. I guess it's not too bad. Okay. Almost halfway done. Okay, I'm gonna add some water. I think I'm going to move this down here because I'm afraid I'm going to dribble all over I'm going to dribble blue all over Snoopy. Yeah, I think part of that was his head. Oops. Which I'm glad I caught myself because I was going to color in all right there, but that's his head. So, and if you wanted to color in their flesh tone, you could do that as well. I don't think I'm going to. Excuse me. I think we're just going to do it this way. We'll just do the background. Add a little bit more water. This is about the time that I mess up when I'm almost done because I get in a big hurry to be done and then I make a mistake. Okay, he's all painted in. I'm gonna put that over there. Check my hands. There is Linus all painted in. So next week we'll do Lucy, and then the week after that we'll do Snoopy, and then our cute little Club Couture project will be finished. Okay, so now let's look at some of the new spring stuff. Oh, yeah, let's look at some of the new spring stuff. Put that over there. I wanted to show you, this is, oh, it's in here. I was like, wait, where'd it go? This is the Color of the Month Struggle Bus, and I forgot to check and see if it was still available. It is still available. So this is Struggle Bus. It is again the color of the month. And I wanted to show you what it looks like next to Bumblebee. So it has a little bit more orange tint to it. Super cute. I think it's a great color. So if you're interested in, if you collect all the color of the months, you can unlock that with the ability to purchase that with a $75 order. And that does sell out. Sometimes it only runs through the middle of the month. It just kind of depends. So if you want it, you probably ought to put in an order. And then real quick, I wanted to show you the Peanuts Spring launch. And some of these are low quantity. So if you want any of these, you probably ought to hop on and order them. So I wanted to start with, this is the A size. It's called Excellent Friends. So it has Charlie Brown and Snoopy hugging in the middle of a floral Easter egg. That says Happy Easter. And again, remember, you can use the sentiment by itself. You can use the egg portion by itself. You could use it all together. So that's one. And then this one is a size, we'll do the size B's next. This one is called Play Ball. So it's a big CB for Charlie Brown. And then it's Charlie Brown in his baseball uniform. So if you have some ballers in your family, this would be a great transfer to pick up. And again, you can isolate Charlie Brown onto another baseball round or anything else related to baseball. Super cute. And then we have Easter eggs. So it's Snoopy pushing a wheelbarrow full of Easter eggs. And the bunnies are chasing him. Super fun. And then we have two size F transfers. This one is super cute with all the different patterns in the design elements. It's called Spring Has Sprung. I absolutely love the graph paper cloud. You've got a cloud and some rain and the sun. And again, you can isolate the text by itself. You can use this by itself. You can add a different set of text with that design. Super cute. Love that one. And then this one is my absolute favorite. This one is called Comic Pattern. So it's all sorts of doodles behind it. Snoopy. I think this one is so cute. It says good grief, bonk, gulp, oof. Pow, ack, phooey. Super cute. I just think that one is adorable. And then if you want all of them, you can buy the collector's edition to get all 5. And if you buy the collector's edition, you actually get a 6th one included in your collector's edition. and this one is called a Happy Easter, and it is only available in the collector's bundle. So it's super cute. Snoopy, Woodstock, super, super fun. And I have the Snoopy, you can shop all of the Snoopy products down below in the description of the video. So that's super fun. I think that's it as far as new stuff. Okay, so let's get our, I'm gonna move, fart. I just got blue ink all over a snowman that's sitting over here and not where he's supposed to be. Let me get him all cleaned up. And then I'm gonna put this blue ink away so that I don't get it on anything else. And then I need to put that snowman away later. Okay, I'm gonna move this away. And then I'm gonna put this away because I'm gonna put it over here. And then we're gonna use our expensive and difficult transfer with this t-shirt. And again, I got this at Walmart. I did buy this color online at walmart.com, but our local Walmart, if you're local to me, our local Walmart had like gray and black and other colors. It is a men's shirt. So I'm gonna put my shirt in a t-shirt form. That is about the only way I have discovered that I can keep my designs mostly straight. Otherwise, they end up super wonky. And you know what I figured out I need to do? Before I do that though, I think I need to drop this down. So all I did was take an ink mat, and in this case, it's a cut up sticky mat for electric die cut machines. I tend to buy these because sometimes I have people over to make shirts. These sticky mats anyway, and it's a very inexpensive way to get sticky mats. So these are from Walmart or from Hobby Lobby. And it's just a sticky mat, but it's used for like a silhouette or like a cameo or a cricket. And I typically get the 2-pack of 12 by 24s, and I cut them in half to where they're 12 by 12s, and that way I get a 4-pack for around $10. But Couture also sells an ink mat, and it's a great ink mat. I just try to spend my money. I try to spend my money frugally so that I have more funds for the transfers and the paste. If that makes any sense. I mean, I don't spend money frugally. I spend way too much. But if I can be frugal in some areas, then that means I have more spending power for other things. I don't know if that's... So I'm using this t-shirt form to hopefully get my t-shirt all good and square. So that it's not lopsided, because I have done my fair share of lopsided t-shirts. Okay, that's pretty good. So your ink mat is kind of dual purpose. So you can see that it's kind of smoothing out the fabric of my t-shirt. It's also keeping it in place so it doesn't move as I'm rubbing on it. It's also going to keep the ink from bleeding through the back side of the back of the front to the back of the t-shirt. So it does quite a few things, and it gets it gets all the wrinkles out. So this is a reusable silkscreen transfer stencil. So I need to mark the back side so that I know that when I'm ready to put the clean transfer away, that I need to put it on this side. Okay, so we're going to peel off our backer sheet, and to help me find the center of my design, you can either line up the edges of the transfer. Sometimes that's not always correct, but I try to line up the edges of each side of the design, and then I'm going to pinch this part of the transfer with my left hand, and then that's going to give me a little mark. You can see that little pinch mark at the top of my transfer, and I kind of line that up with the center of my t-shirt, which is also the hole in my t-shirt form. And they say you want at least 2 fingers between the neck and the starting point of your design. I have almost 3. I'm going to drop it down just a little bit more. This t-shirt that is not even. I can already see. Try again. Okay. This t-shirt is pretty appropriate. I don't know if I'm difficult, but probably a little more expensive than Jason bargained for. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of placement tape mainly on my edges, because this edge of the design is super close to the edge of the transfer, and you do not want to go over the edge of your transfer when you are inking. So just give me a little bit more buffer, and we'll also kind of tell my brain, hey lady, you need to stop and be careful because you're about ready to go over the edge. Okie doke. I'm going to put down this backer sheet right here. So we do have the Couture ink, which is what I used on my pouch. But I am also, tonight I'm going to be using the Speedball ink. And this is a white, a kind of a pearly white ink. It works just the same as our Couture ink. Again, it's one of those things, get what you can afford. You know, I know not all of us can afford all of it. So if you can only afford the transfers, there are options for ink in other places. For instance, I guess I can grab, let me grab, I'm afraid that's going to bubble. Where? So, Hobby Lobby used to carry the Speedball like this. They don't carry that anymore, but they do carry this Speedball Flex, and I have used it on t-shirts before. It works great. So I have black and then I have yellow. So if you can only afford the transfers, there are ink available elsewhere. If If you can afford the transfers and the ink, go for it. Another inexpensive way to do it is to grab the singles. These are $3 a piece. So just get what you can. If your wish list is way bigger than your wallet, like mine always is, check out the perks program that's listed right there. It's kind of like a crafty Costco membership where you pay in monthly. So it's a $20 monthly fee, but you get your $20 fee back as a monthly product credit that you can use that month. So crafty math, girl math, that's kind of free in my book. And then you always have the ability to shop at 30% off of retail pricing. And then you get exclusive promos and deals issued through Couture. And currently, the perks promotion right now is, you know what, I don't have that up, but let's pull it up. The current promotion is free shipping, and that is through today. So if you join as a perks member today, and you put in your order, not only can you save 30% off, sorry, I lied. Not only can you save 30% but on your retail pricing, but if your order is over $50, then your shipping would only be $5. It is not free shipping, it's $5 shipping. I keep saying the wrong thing. Jason says, I'm not difficult or expensive. I'm perfect. Well, thank you. So I'm just using this squeegee and I'm spreading the ink all over the silkscreen areas. Okay, I'm going to quit fighting this and just pull it off. Just making sure I don't have ink everywhere. I'm going to try to only touch the transfer. So if you touch your t-shirt and you have ink on your fingers, more than likely that ink is going to stay, and you're going to have ink in odd places. If it looks like while you're doing this, like sometimes you can see that the ink is really soaking through, you can kind of go back over it with kind of another coat. So this ink, after it dries, is permanent once you heat set it. And you can heat set it with a home iron, an easy press, or a heat press. All three will work. I bet I'm going to have a bubble right there. Poop sticks. I can see a little bit of orange peeking through, or coral. And so when you're finished, you just want to go back through and even out your squeegee lines. You don't want those in your design. And then I like to let my inked designs dry for about 24 hours or overnight. That way they're good and dry. I did dry the pouch last week with my heat embossing tool, which you could do. That way you could, it kind of speeds up the drying process. But for larger projects like this, I would highly recommend letting it sit overnight. Just trying to get all this ink out of the way. Got ink on my placement tape. I've got ink everywhere. Okay, so then when you're ready to pull it off, double check, triple check. Make sure that your Oopsie. Make sure that your hands are clean. I'm going to go ahead and pull off the placement tape. Whoops. Check my fingers again. And then I'm going to pull it up slowly. I guess I shouldn't have closed my... If it looks like you've missed a spot, you can gently lay your transfer back down and just gently re-ink where you think you've missed. Oh, I didn't end up with a bubble. I thought I would. Fun. Expensive and cute. And difficult. Sorry. I thought I said cute, but it didn't. So fun. So I will let this dry overnight. And then I will heat set it. Let me show you if I still have that. Here are the heat setting instructions. So you want to put your home iron on the heat setting that matches the fabric that you've inked on. You want to place a piece of, where did that go? Parchment paper over your dry design, and then you're going to use a small circular motion on with your home iron and just gently press over the design for about 1 to 2 minutes on each side. If you're using a heat press or an easy press, you're going to set that to 305. You're going to put down your parchment paper, and then you're going to hold the easy press or clamp your heat press down for 30 seconds. I like to flip this inside out and then heat set from the back of the front side. That way, if any ink has seeped through, I'm heat setting that as well. Just make sure if you're using a home iron that you're not scorching your fabric. But you can usually tell the ink preheat set will be kind of tacky, and then once you heat set it, it should feel kind of like it's one with your fabric. Bonita says, that is sweet. Well, if you want this transfer, it's in last chance. So once it's gone, it's gone. So this one and the Homebody Club, which would make super cute t-shirts, are both in last chance. So I would get those ASAP if you want those. Here's the Homebody Club, which will also make a cute t-shirt. I think I'm going to make some tote bags out of this one too, but they're both in last chance. So if you have not gotten them, you should probably get online and pick these up. Oh, ow. Okay, doke. Let's go back here. That's all I have for the evening. I'm going to try to hold this up. I just usually leave mine on the ink mat until it's completely dry. If I try to pull this off when it's wet, that's when it's going to double over on itself and I'm going to get ink everywhere. So I just leave it and let it be. It'll be dry tomorrow. And then maybe when I come back on Wednesday, we can heat set it and I'll show you what it looks like. It's going to be super cute. I'm excited. Oh, Bonita says she has her perks. She has her perks product credit to spend. And if you order, Bonita, if you do order tonight, remember that you get on orders of $50 or more, you get $5 in shipping. That ends today. And then we also have Struggle Bus that you can pick up with a $75 order. Trying to think what else. And then, of course, we always have the new Looney Tunes, the Harry Potter, the Spring Snoopy collection. And then the spring collection, there's lots and lots to choose from. Okie doke. With that, I'm going to, And Perks members get they have their own special shopping section. So make sure if you're a Perks member and you have not checked that out, there is a tab that's called Sale, and then it says Designers and Perks Exclusives. Check that out because there's lots of cool stuff in there. So like size e-transfers for $7. So check that out if you're going to go on and be shopping as a Perks member. Okay, doke. With that, I'm going to go ahead and hop off for the evening. I will be back live on Wednesday, probably with another t-shirt project. I don't know. I think I might do another heat transfer project and use that sublimation spray, and we'll try it with a hotter iron and see if it works better. So be watching for that for Wednesday. Thanks so much for hanging out with me this evening. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.